How's it going, Brady? Thanks for doing this. You guys have handled tough situations all year long, and as Coach said, going up against the number one team in the nation and managing to stand toe to toe, win the game, it's not that bad of a deal. How do you guys respond to this and go?
I think it's kind of an eye opener when you look at a team like Arkansas. They don't make mistakes; they make you pay if you leave a fastball over the middle of the plate. We saw that a couple times. And yeah, they really make you beat them. They don't make mistakes and beat themselves. So I guess that's kind of like that's what makes them the number one team in the nation. And we have a lot of work to do hitting wise, but I believe in our coaches and our hitters to get there. So.
Tom?
Yeah, Brady, the offense obviously struggled a little bit tonight, and then again on Thursday. Just what is the next step, the next evolution for you guys as you try to get to where you want to be with all 9 guys clicking?
I really think it's just going up there with a plan, and I think a lot of us are kind of going up there and seeing the pitch or seeing a pitch and kind of reacting to it instead of sitting on a fastball and hitting the fastball. So we might be sitting on a slider or something like that, and a fastball comes, and we swing and don't get our best swing on it. But I think once we start doing that and get a plan going, I think this team will be very dangerous because our pitching's done outstanding, but we haven't really given them any help.
Can you describe what you see out of Cops, their closer? What's it like up there as a hitter? Kingston said that y'all were saying it was really hard to pick up his breaking ball.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the better pitches I've seen in my college career. He would throw that low fastball. He also had a cutter or a slider as well as a curveball, up and down curveball. And that cutter or slider, whatever it was, looked just like the fastball coming out of the hand. And then the last 5 seconds, it would just run as much as any pitch I've ever seen. So it was just very difficult to pick up. You didn't really see spin, and he's definitely one of the better pitchers I've seen.
And what was Wicklander, their starter, doing today to be able to keep y'all off balance and keep his pitch count so low?
He wasn't even really keeping us off balance. I mean, he was throwing fastballs down the middle, and we weren't touching them. So maybe it was because it was rising, or I'm just pretty disappointed in myself as well. But the way we performed at the plate.
Dave?
Brady, Mark mentioned that, this offense can kind of come at you in waves after it gets some momentum. What do you got to do to make those waves more consistent?
Yeah, and I think that's why we're a good team. That's why we're not a necessarily great team yet, because we're very inconsistent. But as we've seen in the past, when we do hit, that's how dangerous we can be. And I don't even think we've showed our full potential. So we're just really going to have to focus towards coming up the back part of the SEC series we have coming up and the postseason. But we're really going to have to get a plan together and really find out who we are as hitters and stick to that and don't try to do anything, we're not like there to do. So just a lot of planned stuff and just keep working.
Tom?
Yeah, Brady is a guy that's been through it a little bit, been through an SEC slate. What's your role on this team to try to get guys together and regroup for these last 4 series?
Always kind of keep guys positive. We're in the locker room. Obviously, we're disappointed, but we're not like lacking motivation or kind of stuff like that. We know that was a great team and one of the better teams we've played so far. So definitely keeping our head up and just talking with the coaches from my experience and all their years of experience, and figuring out what we can do to help the team. And just stuff that I've gone through, try to help the younger guys and the guys that necessarily haven't played SEC baseball, because out of the hitters, I just think it was me, George, and Eister that had really the most experience, and then Wes for a couple games, as well as Josiah in the SEC before this year. So just keep on passing knowledge around.
Yeah, and I guess you mentioned the fact that seeing Arkansas's offense was kind of eye-opening. What about them makes them a great offense, and you guys, like in your words, just a good offense?
They lead. I know they lead the SEC in home runs, but they have a ton. But the stat that's kind of eye-opening to me is that they also have. I think they lead the SEC in walks, or are definitely up there. So they're definitely. I mean, they're seeing a lot of pitches at the plate, and if they're not seeing a lot of pitches at the plate, they're hitting a home run or a ball off the wall or a double. And it's they're fouling a lot of balls off with 2 strikes and just battling, and they have that kind of plan. You can tell less than 2 strikes, you can really see they aren't really swinging at anything in the dirt. There are a couple guys that did, but they're definitely sitting on one pitch, and when they get it, they don't miss it. And I think that's what makes a hitter very, very good.
John?
Obviously, you're close with Wes and can give us some pretty good insight on him. How is he handling, what kind of the adversity he's gone through? His productivity is down a little bit. How do you see him handling things, and how do you approach him, not only as a teammate but a friend, in terms of helping him get out of it?
Yeah, and Wes is always a very cheerful guy, so he's you can tell he's upset, which, I mean, it's totally okay to be upset, but he's still motivated to be one of the best hitters in the country. We kind of just joke around, and every baseball player will go through something like this. This is the first series. In the past series, he's hit balls very hard at LSU, had nothing to show for it, wasn't striking out a lot. So I would say this is the start of his slump, if you want to so call it, because struggling a little bit, but knowing Wes, he'll be hitting the cage every single day, and coming up midweek and for the weekend, he'll be ready. Me and the whole team have complete faith in him.